Good morning. This is the September 11th committee meeting for LaSalle County Nursing Home and VAC. I'll start with attendance. Kathy Owens. Here. Doug Stockley.
Here.
Matt Slager.
Here.
Ron Blue.
Here.
Bill Brown. Here. Nancy Urick. Here. Okay, I don't think we have anybody on remote attendance because we're all here. So I'll call the meeting to order, and can we have a motion to approve or dispense of the prior committee minutes? Kathy Owens and Nancy Urick, second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Capital asset review, no, okay. All right, we'll go straight to VAC with Krista. Glad to have you here today.
Yeah. Morning. All right. So in front of you, you have our latest and greatest meeting minutes and then our budget. We'll go over that in a minute. But basically for our office activity, we applied for a DCEO grant in April. We were supposed to hear back regarding that. It was up to $250,000 to renovate our current space, to make it more usable, add a little bit extra room for a little bit more outreach that we would like to have come in. Right now we have Aurora Vet Center once a week that is slated to come in, and they are to do counseling services for our veterans through our office, and they appreciate that. We also have Hines and BRNE, which helps with education and employment through Hines and the VA. So we would like to have another space, but with this grant, it would be great if we could do that without having to spend any further of the county funding. We won't know. We heard back. We won't know until maybe October on that. So of course with grants, everything is wait. So we're waiting. Kelly, our admin, she took a notary class and is officially licensed as a notary. That's just another thing that we can offer to our veterans. That was something that was brought up, and we are glad to be able to offer that service free of charge to our veterans and families. Emily took a social media outreach class. She passed that. It was 14 hours. She has took over all of our social media side of things to bring in more of the youthful side of things. I myself, not really on social media, but she knows more of that. She is of that generation and likes that sort of thing, so she has taken that on and has had a great turnout of added members to our event pages and everything else, so we appreciate that. We are still looking for veterans that are willing to give us their stories, backstories, anything about, you know, their history, time in service, what brought them into the service, anything like that, to add to our website. We would like to have local veterans featured on there, celebrate our local heroes. If you know of anybody, please have them reach out to our office. We had a backpack drive for the school year. We had the top 10 most suggested items for all of the area schools in a backpack, and we were able to give all of them away, except I think we have one strangler, but we will hold on to that in case anybody comes up short or needs it. It is still available if anybody knows a veteran or a family member of a veteran that is struggling and still needs some supplies. James, one of our VSOs, is working on a scholarship with IVCC for a veteran and family member to be able to attend IVCC. We have funding that is given to us through our expo that we do, donations and such, so we want to make good use of that. And IVCC is one local, and it is also fully staffed with a board that would be able to process all of these applications, where we do not have the staff or the time to be able to do that. So they are fully there, they're ready for it. We just need to fill out the application and submit that. That's due in January, so we have time. We just need to figure out what we want to do for GPA and all the ins and outs of that. The Attorney General Office put on what they call hip pocket training regarding the MVAA, which governs us as VACs. This one was regarding funding and how we are to be funded. So I don't know if anybody that I sent that training out to was able to attend, but I did send it out to here to a few of the finance chair staff, to Chairman Jensen and a few others as well. So that was regarding how we are to be funded. And with budget season coming up, I know there's questions. Melissa and I, my assistant superintendent and I attended a meeting with Will County, Kankakee County, Grundy County, and a nonprofit organization called PHAT, P-H-A-T. And we are trying to figure out the best ways to do crisis response for veterans in our communities. A lot of times, veterans in crisis are not during 9 to 5 hours. So we need to figure out the best way to respond and who can respond. Aruka in this area does response through volunteer basis, but we can't just back all our horses in that stable. You know, we got to have some options. And I know other counties are struggling with even having something such as Aruka. So they're purely volunteer basis or having the police involved, which most of the time with veterans is not the best first step. So we are trying to figure out the best way possible, excuse me, I'm losing my voice today, to move forward with kind of a group collaboration to see if there's a better way to do crisis response in our areas and get some feedback. So if anybody has any ideas on what you would know as far as veterans or any organizations that are out there that might be willing to work with us to have some sort of crisis response intact. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. That'd be great. We would really appreciate any sort of feedback. We are spinning and we are having lots of ideas, but we need a direction. So we would appreciate that. We have state training here in East Peoria. Lissa, I, and Emily will all be in attendance for that. That is our annual training and also meetings for what is going on in the state of Illinois with legislation changes and what's going on with other VACs. There's a couple of VACs that are currently in courts with their counties, both good, bad, ugly, all that other fun stuff. But there's lots of stuff going on within VACs in the state of Illinois. And then as far as the House bill and the Senate bill for the multi-county VACs, that has passed the House on both sides, so it's in the Senate. We're waiting to see if that passes this year or if it waits till next year to be passed. But that is something that we are keeping track of fully because, as you know, Bureau County does not have a VAC, and we get a lot of veterans coming from Bureau County to come over to us and get assistance, which we will not turn away a veteran. A veteran is a veteran. The only thing that stops us from being able to assist them with anything is financial assistance. You have to be a resident of LaSalle County for that. As far as office visits, everything else, that is all pretty much the same. We have large numbers for our PTSD group. That is, again, why we are really pushing for this crisis response team. We are seeing more and more numbers as the world kind of evolves and changes. Obviously, there's lots of things going on, and we have lots of triggers and lots of veterans coming in with all sorts of different issues that we are trying to resolve, not letting them get to that crisis point. But at any point in time, people are different. Crisis can happen at any point. Right now, we have just over 7.46 million in new benefits. This is not cumulative. New benefits for our veterans this year. That is just over 657,000 where we were last year at this point. So last year we topped off over 10 million. I would assume that we are going to do about the same this year. And that is, again, not cumulative. This is all new benefits. So this is non-taxable benefits for our veterans and families here in the community. And we like what we do, and it shows. Any questions on that? No.
This bill that you're talking about, I guess it's on the state level with the VACs.
Mm-hmm.
How does that affect us? I mean, you're talking about Bureau County don't have a VAC.
Correct.
Okay, so what, could you explain how that's gonna affect us?
So essentially, it would be, in the grand scheme of things, if it went through, if we went to Bureau County and said, hey, you don't have a VAC, you know, we will take on being your VAC. We would no longer be the LaSalle County VAC, we would be the Circuit Court VAC, because it's for the Circuit Court. It would be Grundy, LaSalle, and Bureau. So Grundy already has a VAC, he doesn't want to play with us, he's fine, he's by himself. Ken's a great guy, but he wants to be over there. So it would be between us and Bureau. So if Bureau wants us to take over for their VAC, then they would fund us, you guys would fund us, and we would be the Circuit Court
So
VAC.
we get funding from Bureau County then also?
Also, correct, yeah. So LaSalle County would house the funding because you are the central part of the Circuit Court, but we would technically be the Circuit Court system VAC, not a LaSalle County or Bureau County. It would be both.
So it sounds like that'd be pretty positive for our.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
The grant you talked about, you led off with that. Who is that from?
The DCEO grant is from the state.
From the state of Illinois? Okay. And how are you doing with the food pantry?
Fantastic. So right now, the IB Food Pantry is moving in down the street from us, but we still partner with the Ottawa Food Pantry. So we come over here and we get the food baskets from over in the Ottawa Food Pantry to bring to our general assistance people. Right now, we only have about 6 people that take a basket, but we have a lot more that take commissary bags from Midwest Shelter that supplies those household good items and everything else. But we always have a couple in stock just in case.
Okay. And yeah, I appreciated being let know of the online meeting with the Attorney General's office. Was that recorded? Can I
No.
still view it?
No, unfortunately, the AG's office doesn't like to record their Zoom
I wonder
anything.
why they don't.
I know, we tell them all the time, no. You're welcome.
Could you explain that grant again?
The-
What that's for?
The DCEO grant,
Mm-hmm.
so it's up to $250,000, and it's to renovate our current location to make it more, right now we have 2 completely different sides. We want it to be a little bit more flow, and then add another space that we can have, because we have a lot of excessive space, especially on that B side, where we have it very open. We want to be able to add another office back there for another outreach individual to come in. Because right now, we have an office space that's very small, that's dedicated to one gentleman who comes once a week to do counseling and services for our veterans through the vet center. But we also have Heinz Healthcare, VRNE, and we also have flutes that come over. So all these people at all these different times, if they're all in one great area, it's a lot of HIPAA violations, a lot of everything else. We want them to have a space to themselves, to be able to talk.
That's in the current space that you rent?
Correct,
at
yeah,
Currently? Mhm.
Correct.
Okay. Regarding that bill that Bill was just talking about, what are the tax implications should Bureau County want to, if it passes and is signed by the governor, what's the tax implications in regards to both counties then?
So it would be the same thing. So the MVAA states .02 is bottom line. That would be bottom line for both counties. And that would be how it is. So basically, we would approach Bureau County, make sure that they understood, since they don't have a VAC, they're not in compliance anyways, because for the MVAA, every county should have a VAC. But with this one, it takes that pressure off of them as far as having to be completely on their posts and everything else, having to have a complete board. We would have board members from their posts, of course, to be on our board as well, because we want their input. We are, at that point, a meshed community. So it would be .02 from each county, and then we would be on our own. But you guys would hold those funds and distribute those funds because you are the house of the circuit court.
So it wouldn't be, say, for example, your current budget, roughly around 637,000. So it wouldn't be prorated between the two counties. It would be 0.02% of their total
Up to, yep,
EAV.
yep, up to 0.03, yep, from each county. That's how it reads. Now, if that changes within the time frame of it passing, I don't know, but that's how it reads right now.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, can I go over budget? Okay. As far as budget goes, does anybody have any questions? We got rid of we used to have a bonus system of up to $5,000 per employee, for going above and beyond the job. We have since, took that off the table for this fiscal year, mainly because I had a couple of different people try and get poached from my office to go to other offices because we do a damn good job, just saying. And looking at it, getting different numbers from other counties on where they are with salaries and everything else, we were below grade. So instead of doing the bonus every single year, we just upped the starting salary. My board went with it. They approved everything. They agreed with me. I gave them all my reasonings. And we went from there. So we will still have our tiered system for years in. There's no hidden anything. Everything's in resolutions and memos. And I have passed that on to Melissa and to Stephanie and everybody. So this is what our board approved. There's nothing else that really has gone up by any means. This year, I know we had 2 laptops go completely dead, and then our lovely printer went dead last year, and then it went dead again this year. And, you know, that was great. So I had to get a new printer again this year. Not really expecting that, but other than that. Doug?
This is my first time looking at your budget.
Sure.
In 2022 and 2023, you were 362,000 and 336,000 roughly actual expenses. And then you jump quite a bit in 2024 to 604. Can you explain that? You almost doubled.
So that is the actual numbers that I have from back then. I don't know the actual, so I started tracking everything in mid 2024 as far as everything goes, because that's when I took over. So everything prior to that was my predecessor, and all I have is his numbers. So that's what I have. So the actual might not actually be the actual, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
Doug.
Sorry, Steph.
No, I'm sorry. Are you done?
Yeah.
The actual for 2024 for expenses was $570,753.
So it's not 573,
I'm sorry?
not 573.
No,
It was what?
according to our books, it was $570,753.
So I was a little off. I was 3,000 off.
And the last question I have right now on the budget is, we're roughly 40% expended to date. Got 60% to go in your budget. Do you plan on spending?
So this does
60%?
not include the new laptop that I had to purchase and a few other bigger expenses. That is not on this sheet because I have not added those in just yet because I just got those bills back and they were just paid and everything else. So I expect we will be under. Again, we generally are roughly around, you know, anywhere between 20, 30,000 under at least. But that is just in case of, oh crap, something went wrong and we got to have something as well. You know, we have to have a buffer. Yep.
But you're looking at current actual at 251,000 for a budget of 637,000.
That is, like I said, it's not including quite a few bills that I have not factored into this one yet, because I just got those back and I just have not put them in to my Excel spreadsheet. And
Amount to about how much?
I don't know, 50-ish, 50,000?
So basically, you'd be up around, well, not quite 50% of your budget, and we're 3/4 of the way through the year. Yeah. And your payroll line, basically, that's the reason you gave for the increase of 25% on the payroll,
Correct.
and then yours at over 15%.
Yep.
Just another question. In regards to that grant, did you get that remodeling okayed through the owner?
Yes, absolutely.
First,
Yep.
okay.
He says as long as we use, certified people and everything has got all the, you have to go through, oh my gosh, why can't I think of the word? What is the word that I'm thinking about? The permits, thank you. The permits for it, and then we're good to go. My mind blanked.
Chris, I had a question. When I was inputting all this, the legal fees.
Yes, ma'am.
We increased those by 20. Are we anticipating more this
We're
year?
not, but I
Okay.
mean, that's what we are told to have it at baseline. Because of everything that is going on with other counties currently. We don't know, and we don't hope to use that at all, ever. But again, it's something that we need to have just in case. Anything else? I'm good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Krista. Should we do approval of her bills or wait till?
You got your bills, approve the report, and report.
All right, so can we have a motion to approve the bills for the VAC, please? Nancy and Doug, second. All in favor? Okay, and a motion to approve Krista's report? Doug? And Nancy, all in favor? Okay, and then a motion to forward the budget to finance? Doug and Kathy Owens, all in favor? Okay. Thank you. And then we will move on. Oh, sure, go ahead, Bill.
Is that all money from LaSalle County, that $673 for 95, is that all out of our, LaSalle County paying that? Yeah. I mean, what budget?
Yep. That's their levy request.
And, like I say, they haven't spent, they're about 50% of what we budgeted last year, actual this year.
It does seem like they're figuring pretty heavy, doesn't it?
Well, the thing you have to keep in mind too is this money that's levied, that goes into what you might call an escrow fund, because the county can't touch it. So basically, when you take a look at some of the numbers that they've shown in the past couple years or so, the 690, what Bill just said, the 693,700, that's the levy, that's what they're asking for. That will go on top of what they already have as cash on hand, which I was just going to ask Stephanie what they had. Well, that's convenient.
So Don, just to clarify what you're saying, when they have leftover at the end of a year, that's just money that's
Kept.
theirs to stay in their account. We don't
They
get it
still have
back
access
because
to
they
it. We
didn't
do
spend
not.
it.
I'm sorry, don't mean to interrupt you. Basically, that's their money.
Yeah, so we don't get it back even though they
Nope.
didn't need it. So perhaps not a great idea to allow them to over budget.
Well, I guess I find it interesting that they increased their budget request close to 9%. And yet they're going to be, they're only roughly around 50% at this point in time and 75% of the way through the year.
Yes,
I doubt seriously that they're going to spend another $100,000.
right.
So they'll probably have 150 to 200,000 left from
Leftover
this
into their-
budget year, plus I don't
Excess
know
fund.
what's left in there from years previous. So,
So that would hit, let's say if they got 100,000, it looks like they may have 200,000 left over. And then we add almost 700,000 to it,
mhm,
that's a lot of money.
mhm.
Based on what they spent in the past, I don't wanna cut it short, but my God. Computers and printers don't cost that much, but,
Nope.
So I am not sure I'm clear on this, but I seem to recall that we don't really have much say in their budget. Am I correct?
We should probably talk with the Assistant State's Attorney's Office on that. I've talked with Pat Herman before. Well, here, see, the last time there was a question on whether if the VAC could own property or not. Well, since that time, the state's Attorney General's opinion has come back that they cannot. And they had included $380,000 in this last budget for accumulation of funds to buy property and put up a building.
Right.
Well, we took that out of their budget last year.
So we
they
were
never
able
got
to
that
change their
380?
budget.
No,
okay.
no, but, well, I'll leave it at that until I talk with Pat.
Okay,
The cash on hand as of Tuesday, there were some bills that were paid out Tuesday afternoon, but it was $384,761.
So that's where, what the actual, what the VAC has spent this year was the figure you just.
No, the figure I gave you is how much cash they have in their account.
Oh, the 384?
384.
That was the reason I asked the question about the legislation that's going through the legislator and possibly before the governor, is because, according to what she just said, and I haven't read it completely to find out, I would assume that that's going to be the case, that they will get levied in Bureau County, and that will become a part, that will be the total budget, will be their total EAV and ours here at a particular tax rate.
which will give them a much larger budget.
Well, if indeed they are servicing the veterans from Bureau County already,
We should be.
they will have more on top of the budget that they're requesting right here.
Yes.
And I'm assuming, but this is an assumption, that they will not be adding any more people to the staff to do that job.
They're already doing it now.
That's right.
If that goes through, it basically is gonna be a bonus because Bureau County's gonna be kicking in.
Here's your mic there, Mike, Bill.
If, we're, pretty much the expenses, including Bureau County, we are already assuming that. I mean, we haven't turned anybody down. So if it does go through, any money, from Bureau County is on top of, and their expenses should be not much more.
She did state, though, that they cannot financially help anybody from Bureau County. currently. They have to reside in LaSalle County to get any funding from them.
No, but that would be under the Veterans Assistance line. I'm assuming that's what she's talking about, is assistance, is monetary assistance for the veterans, which if you take a look at the budget here, let's see, where is it? Emergency relief, is that what it's called now?
I believe so.
Okay, they budgeted 20,000 for here in LaSalle County for veterans assistance or emergency relief. It'd be like rent, utility bills and things of that nature.
Right, so none of that currently can go to any Bureau County residents. All of that has to stay in LaSalle County.
I'm curious as to why, in that legislation, why it wouldn't force Grundy County to be a part of that judicial circuit. Is that's the goal, is a VAC representing the East Judicial Circuit. And I'm curious as to why it would be allowed to have Grundy County go off on their own when this legislation is pointing in the direction of a circuit VAC. Just a question on my part.
Anything else on this? Are we ready to move on to the nursing home, or do we have more? Go ahead, Ron.
I'm just wondering, do we have to give them that baseline 50,000 for legal fees? Or can we bring that down to 30,000 or something, since they're not anticipating anything? Where's she getting the baseline at? Is it a law or?
You can bring any of those amounts down.
Okay.
The law is that the VAC has to be funded for all necessary expenses.
Right.
Building and such, and they get into a court battle of what's reasonable and necessary to do that. But if you find it at this point that that's not necessary or reasonable, you can certainly do that. I believe that partly was anticipation of the possibility of a fight with the county over
That land?
the land and
Yeah.
being able to own property, and also possibly on any costs associated with, legal fees associated with purchasing property.
Okay.
That's not a possibility at this point, I don't think. That was Attorney General's opinion, not a court opinion. It doesn't have the same force of law, but the way it is written, well-reasoned, I think it would certainly hold up. It was certainly my opinion as well, that they couldn't own property. An overview of all that is the state statutes really describe who can own property and who can't own property government-wise. And they list it usually if you can, and they don't list it. If they don't list it, you usually can't, and that's the case with the VAC.
So should we leave that down at 30,000 there? Maybe 20?
Well, my next question is, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, Pat, who would those legal expenses be used for? Or what would they be used for?
I can't answer that. That'd have to be the VAC director to answer that, but they were used in the past for, outside legal counsel was involved in the Attorney General's opinion. They had sought his advice, and he contributed to the, I'll say, arguments and legal opinions on why he thought the VAC should be able to own property. But I don't know what else they could use it for at this point.
She just stated earlier that they might anticipate, with this new legislation that's going through. 'Cause when I asked her why it was increased by 20,000, that was what she stated. In anticipation of the legislation that's going through.
Go ahead, Bill.
If you look at just, what they budgeted in the past was $5,000, and then in 24 went up to, 22 grand or so. So, and what, we budgeted 30 last year, but we've only spent $5,000 roughly. So if we cut that down to 10 grand and they do go over it, well, they got a big coffer with money sitting there that they could cover that. you know, their money that's sitting there from, you know, left over from last year. So it ain't like they're gonna be short. I mean, I don't see why we can't cut that down to 10 grand. So, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, you may want to look back and see what it was before before the 30 grand, because that was increased, I believe, in anticipation of whether they could own property or not.
So,
Just as a point of reference, in 23 and 20, yes, 23 and 24, the budget was 5 grand for legal fees.
so do we want to reconsider approving their budget and?
Well, you already passed it on to the finance.
Yes, we did, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do we want to leave it that way, or do we want to withdraw that and reconsider? I don't know. Or can we do that?
Parliamentary probably is sitting in finance. So I guess what I'd say, if you're interested in that topic, come to the finance committee when this comes up for review.
Okay.
And bear in mind, but the VAC is different in the sense that once it's budgeted, it's really up to them to spend it. The board has very little say-so in whether it's a proper expenditure or not, once it's budgeted or appropriated.
And that money's gone. Once it's budgeted, money's gone. We gotta pay it.
There is one
Pretty much.
thing, I'm just looking at the statute, and Pat can correct me if I'm wrong here, but it does indicate that unallocated balances can be carried over to the next year. So if they're not spending their money, then the next year you don't have to levy enough to get them the 2.02% that they want the next year. You can account for that carryover balance, just based on what I'm reading here. You may be able to account for the carryover when you levy their budget for the next year, if they don't spend it all.
Okay, question in that regard then, define unallocated.
I need to
That-
look at that a little bit
that-
more.
that-
I'm just
No,
bringing that
that-
to the attention, I'm reading it
That's
right
right.
now. I don't know if Pat's read this at all, but like, you had mentioned that once it's theirs. There may be some ability to, I just need I would need a time to look at it more. So maybe when the next finance meeting comes up, when this comes up, we can have some other answers on some of this stuff.
Because that's the definitive part of it is unallocated, the definition of
Right.
unallocated as to what, say for example, hypothetical. So we've got 300,000 left in there at the end of the year, making the assumption that it's unallocated. You got, we'll say 700,000, so you levy for 400,000 instead of the full 700,000. But that's a question we'd have to discuss.
I think unallocated is going to mean it wasn't spent, it's still there. Rather than levy additional money, you could carry that over, but you don't necessarily have to either. If the building, for instance, I think there was that was in the budget at one time. If it wasn't purchased that year, you want to, not allocated, you can
Oh, I see.
roll it over and do that. You can do that, but the budget you're setting here is going to set the levy as well, so. In the unallocated funds that they've been levied, they can only be used for VAC purposes. County can't use them for general purposes. So those funds that are unallocated could have to be used really for whatever's showing up in the auditor's budget for VAC purposes.
Thank you.
Anything else on that? I think we're just sending it to finance, so I don't think we have.
No,
to-
I do need you to sign that, just that it's being forwarded to finance. Just the top page is fine, Kathy. Thank you.
But what if we don't agree with the legal services?
It's still going to finance, then you can come to finance
Even if we
and,
don't sign it?
So you want me to pass this around, Stephanie, what you gave me?
yes,
Be
please,
signed?
the original, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Herman would have to answer
I
that.
guess, I guess from what I understand, you've already allocated or agreed to a certain amount in the budget, and now it's a matter of changing that. If the committee doesn't want to change it, I suppose that's your prerogative to do that as well. If it's forwarded on to the finance committee, it certainly can be changed there. It can be changed before the full board as well. But whether you want to change it here or not depends on your rules here. I don't disagree with what Don is saying, but I don't know when it can be changed or who could change it, but it can be changed between now and when it's final.
We can't do nothing now.
Realistically, you could make a motion to restart the discussion on this, just from a parliamentary standpoint. You had a motion, it was seconded, and everyone voted aye. So in order to restart the thing, you probably would need a motion and then go through that process and then start your discussion again. It's just that you have to undo what was previously done as opposed to just ignore that it was previously done. Make sense?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I think that do we have to have the person that made the motion rescind it, or?
No,
Okay, all right. So Doug, your motion is to rescind the motion to approve the budget and reopen discussion? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody want to second that? Doug? And all in favor of reopening the discussion on the budget? Okay, let's go again then.
So what lines are you wanting to?
Yeah.
What's everybody think you should be at?
I think it, based on, in the past and everything, I think 10 grand. That's twice of what they spent so far this year.
Ron, what do you,
I'm just wondering, in 2024, it looks like they went over budget. Is that correct?
yes.
Like 21,000, they went 15,000 over?
That was when they started the process of purchasing, wanting to purchase
Okay,
the,
so they did have
they were over.
fees that year?
Yes.
Okay. So I doubt they're anticipating very much, so I agree with that, 10 or 20.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts on that? Is there any other items that you think need to be changed on here? Go ahead, Bill.
Just looking at travel, last year they budgeted 15. They spent about 4 grand, and I'm looking in the past that their travel has never been over 5 grand or whatever. I mean,
Well, I'm seeing 2025, the actual 896859. And I'm looking at a different sheet that I got from Stephanie, so that might be the reason.
The numbers that Kathy has are the actual numbers in our accounting software. I'm not sure when those numbers that Krista provided you, what date those are from. These are up to date as of yesterday. So in 2024, they spent $7,342 in travel. And again, she said she didn't have all of the 2024 numbers because that's the year that she took over, I believe. And then so far this year, they're like right at $9,000.
And that's 3/4 of the way through the year, so maybe they go 12. More likely, that would, I mean,
And-
9,000 averages to about 3,000 a quarter, so you got one
Yeah.
quarter left.
and if they do go over budget, they got a big bank sitting there.
Got a slush
you
fund.
know, to cover it. So it ain't like they're gonna close, So I mean, I could see going 12 on that.
So we want to change the the legal services to, did we say 10? Just
Legal.
for summary.
That's
Is
what
that
I,
what we said? Or do you want to go 15? Or where do you want to be at?
let them spend that coffer. So,
Okay, Bill says 10 and 12 on the travel. We're putting this on you, Bill.
okay.
Kathy, can you just initial those after you write those in on the
Yes,
original, please?
yes.
Thank you. So what was 10 for legal?
10 for legal and 12 for travel is what they're saying they want.
Madam Chairman, you can ask for a vote on each one individually at the end? Or are you gonna
Can you
take
tell
them
me
all
what-
together?
What should I do?
Whichever you wanna do.
Okay,
I would do them one at a time, I guess,
okay.
in
And
case there's
we'll-
disagreements about.
Okay, do
which
we
way they
need
wanna
like
go.
roll call on those?
No.
No, okay.
Oh, can we hear what Nancy and Kathy and Doug has to say about that, or? They have
Office
no,
supplies.
they have no opinion, or?
Okay.
Office supplies, 6,000 to 10,000. They're currently at 1527.
Office
Might be
supplies and
$2,000.
expenses, they're currently at $5,017, you mean? I never saw the numbers that you guys have in front of you. I
Oh, this here?
apologize. Yes, I don't know where that info came from. Because mine are up to date, so.
They're so tiny, it's hard to read them.
I have that they've spent $5,000 on office supplies, not 1,500, so I'm not sure where that number came from.
Okay, well, that,
Oh, yeah, they're saying they
Why do we
spent
do this?
13 and.
can we go down to 25 actual?
You know what, can I pass these out? These are the actual numbers from,
Sure, that'll help.
And how about our rent? That should be pretty much set, right, with the landlord?
I believe that was part of their motivation to move was that the rent was gonna go up.
that's the 58 total on the rent that you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Why did the rent drop in 2025? Does anybody know? It's got actual 2024, 50,400, 2025, 37,800.
That's as current as of yesterday. We've
Oh,
paid
okay.
37,800
Yeah,
so
okay,
far.
Got it, sorry.
That's all right. So yeah, the third column is what you're going to see. I don't know how much it differs from the sheet that she handed out, but that is what is currently, as of this week, has been spent. With the exception of, there were bills paid, well, I ran this yesterday, so there were some bills on Tuesday, but they didn't amount to that much, but.
Where's this so tiny?
The tax levy, are they asking for an increase in tax levy?
No, so when I prepare the budgets, any of the levy departments, I normally just put in 3% there until we get to the end and do the final, do the levy together as the finance department. So that may not be correct. And then some numbers will need to change as well as on the expense side for health insurance, because I will get those numbers from Melissa when we get those from our insurance broker. So again, this is a guide, and the numbers will change prior to voting on the final budget.
What Stephanie just handed out is current numbers. What Krista handed out is from them. And what Stephanie has here is request amount 642,238. They're requesting 693,700. I have it roughly close to 9% increase in levy request from last year.
That's what they're asking for. Yeah. And they still got that coffer.
$384,761. That may have gone up a little since, because that was Tuesday, Amanda, right? Yes, and there was a tax distribution yesterday, I believe. Again, I can't get into our system right now, so I apologize. It's just how much they have cash on hand from past years that have just, that hasn't been spent.
The county could levy less and use those funds to fund the levy, or to fund the budget this year.
So the other things that have gone up a lot would be clothing, office supplies, event expo expense, and marketing. Is there anything you want to change on those? And then obviously payroll and elected official. Is Krista the only elected official there? Is this strictly her salary that she's?
Yes, that's her
Boosting
salary.
15%?
That's her salary, yes.
Do we have any say on that? No.
No, that's the only time you have a say is at budget time, to do that. Reasonable and necessary. How to determine that? As I said here today, I don't know how you would determine that. I suppose you have to look at VAC directors statewide, the number of cases they handle, the number of clientele they have, all of those matters taken into consideration, the amount of employees they oversee. Probably be very subjective, very complicated, the experience, but I'll factor into that as well. So whether that's reasonable, necessary, I don't have a legal answer for you there. That's gonna be more factual.
Anybody have any other suggestions then? Or what you want to change anything else?
Could you summarize what we're looking at then, as far as cuts at the moment?
Sorry, I couldn't quite understand what you said.
Looking at either the county spreadsheet or per spreadsheet, could you summarize what we're looking at for cuts at this point?
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. So far, all we have is to cut the legal services to 10,000 and the travel to 12,000. That's been proposed.
And how much are we looking at cutting the budget? name two items.
between the two items.
That's
So that would be
43,000.
43, yes.
So where do we want to be?
Where do we want to be?
What about her pay? Are they leaving it at that or that increase?
Sorry,
Her pay, are you leaving it at that, her
I
increase?
don't know, we haven't, nobody has said what they want to do with her pay raise. And that, it sounds, from what Pat says, it's gonna be probably a fight if we change that, sounds like.
I don't know, I'd take a 15% increase.
Right, I mean, you know, we know what the raises have been across the board in the county, so this is a pretty big raise.
Well, and essentially, based on what she said, it has a practical effect of if she'd gone to a committee on her specifically, like her having presented it to her commission, it sounds like she's already sought their approval for
Yes,
that.
correct.
Just depends on whether you agree with them is gonna be the discussion, I suppose.
Yes. I think they feel like they have the sole authority there. She did also mention, and that's why I didn't bring it up on the payroll, in the past, she's done bonuses. And so rather than bonuses, she's changed the pay rate. I don't know if that includes her on that.
Yeah, we didn't give her a bonus last year, right?
No, the bonus was paid out, but because of our payroll system, because you can see on the very bottom line, it says bonus payroll merit, and 40,000 was budgeted, and it shows that none has been expended. It came out of their payroll line. It needs to be transferred over. Our system doesn't allow us to take it directly out of that line, so we have to do a manual transfer. The very bottom line, Bill.
Yeah,
Yeah. So last year, we did budget 40,000.
Was Krista part of that bonus?
Yes.
Okay, so her increase too, then, at 15% would be taking into account
Correct.
partially the bonus.
And that bonus covered taxes as well.
Okay. Go ahead, Ron.
Any of her wages,
No.
any percentage?
No.
Okay.
Well, they got, in '24, they paid out the $5,000 bonuses per
Per employee.
employee.
Yes.
Budgeted at 40, as Stephanie said, but what they did is they switched it over to pay raises,
Yes,
okay?
Right. Which the pay
And
raises are more than 40.
Hers in particular, you can't see the others in the group, but hers in particular, it's more than $8,000 bonus. It's a $14,000 increase in pay.
Yes, right. So even factoring in the bonus that she had last year is still above what the rest of the county is getting as a raise.
If I might make a suggestion,
Yeah.
with those that you've taken off already, just change the bottom line on that and pass it through now as is to finance, and then further discussion on finance.
Okay. So you're saying make these two changes that Bill suggested, to the legal and the travel. Deduct that from the total and forward it as is to finance and let them work on it some more. Is that right? Okay.
That's with the deductions? That's with the
With those
deductions?
two
Yeah, with the
deductions.
two.
So with those two deductions, your new total would be 649,208.
And nobody has a problem with the wage increase. Amanda, when's yours coming up? $15,000. Is yours coming up anytime soon? Or so we can give you 15,000? Everybody else is getting it, 15, 20,000 this year. Worst tax year probably on record, and everybody's getting $15,000 raises, $20,000 raises. You guys just pass it right through.
I'm with You, Ron, on that, I mean, 15,000 or 15%, that's pretty healthy, even including past bonuses. I don't, that's a lot. And once it's there, we gotta live with it each year, you know? What you gonna ask for next year? I don't know. So, I could see cutting that down to 10%. That's still a good chunk of cash.
I can
but-
see cutting it down to 3.5.
Yeah, and that's what the other employees, in the county are getting, so I mean,
Yes, it is what the other employees are getting.
so it's like,
So per Don's suggestion, Bill, do you want to make a motion on the legal services?
yeah, make a motion that we drop the budgeted from 50 to 10.
Okay, anybody second that? Nancy? And all in favor of that?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. And then we need a motion on the travel. We were at 15 and you said you wanted to take it to 12.
I'll make that motion too.
Okay, and a second? Nancy, all in favor of that?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, and so then that would change our bottom line for the 2026 total request amount to 649,208. Do we need a motion on that, or can we just state it? Okay, so then, yeah, we need to make a motion to forward the amended budget to finance. Kathy Owens and Nancy second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, that one's done. Wake up, Kathy. Can we have the nursing home report now?
All right, I know everybody got a copy of this, or supposedly got a copy of this emailed to them. I know they emailed it to it, I don't know if anybody read it, so do you guys want me to read through this, or do you just want to ask questions? Anybody? Everybody was emailed these. It's something new that I guess is going on. So I didn't know if everybody saw them 2 days ago and read through them, if you want me to read through them again, or if you just have questions, is what I'm asking.
I didn't see the email.
Okay, then I'll just read it. All right, Finance Department, primetime healthcare expenditure was higher due to them having outdated contact information, which has since been fixed, and the tax levy is included in this month's revenue. Activity Department, the Activity Department hired 2 activity aides this month. We held our 3rd annual luau, attended by residents and family members. The luau was sponsored by donations from family and staff members. Residents were invited to a community bingo at Nell's Woodland. They enjoyed playing bingo in the woodland setting. We had an entertainment program and continue to host bingo with Friendship Village. We're taking gently used donations for our annual rummage sale, and we'll also be having a bake sale on Friday, September 12th. The annual rummage sale will run from noon to 2. The residents enjoyed marking items as they were donated. They're also looking forward to our resident picnic on Wednesday, September 24th. Admissions, the current census is at 63. New admissions is 3, discharge 4. Current projected admissions is 2. Outreach and community interaction was strong in August. An advisory board meeting at Bridges Senior Center was held with the Executive Volunteer Coordinator of Alternatives for Older Adult. It was discussed how federal funding is seriously delayed for any new projects, along with senior program, excuse me, funding including, but not limited to caregiver support and grandparents raising grandchildren. Alternatives for the older adult will possibly be coordinating with the Alzheimer's Association of Iowa to continue memory in the market projects, as there is no close local program. 10 residents went to Nell's Woodland in August for a program called Something Special for Seniors, a social hour with a focus on older adults. This event was coordinated with Alternatives for Older Adults, Bridges Senior Center Director, and Nell's Woodland. Staying connected to the community is very important to the older adults who reside in the facilities. To encourage continued civic awareness and engagement through a unique nature-based social setting was very meaningful and will continue. Lightweights Hospice made the highest number of viable respite requests in August. There is an additional social worker coming to LaSalle County portion of their territory to assist with the established social worker for Lightweights. The patients referred have full-time caregivers who are needing downtime. Coordinating with all contracted area hospices will continue. OSF St. Elizabeth Hospice also reached out for respite and placement and have made requests early for the upcoming holiday season. Employee incident report, there was one employee incident report in August. An activity aide walked into a resident's wheelchair foot pedal and fell. She reported that she had received a laceration on the right side of her forehead and scratches to her right knee. Total to date for 2025, 7 employees and 1 visitor. Rehab restorative report. The restorative garden is done for the season. We are in the process of cleaning out the remaining plants and are hoping to plant a fall gardenscape in one of the boxes to welcome the fall season. We continue to be busy with small groups in the restorative room and have planned a few seasonal activities and craft projects to encourage fine finger movements and range of motion. The new step exercise bike continues to be popular with the residents. There were 6 falls in August. Only 1 fall resulted in a minor injury. Staff usage of gait belts continues to improve. The restorative department constantly monitors to ensure that the staff is using appropriate transfer techniques to decrease fall risk. We are continuing to closely monitor the wheelchairs and make adjustments for correct positioning and safety. Cleanliness continues to be an issue with the wheelchairs, but is improving. We recently received a large amount of new wheelchair cushions and are in the process of replacing cushions in poor condition. Wheelchair inventory is ongoing, and we have started a logbook indicating the type of wheelchair a resident is using, size of chair, and any modifications that have been made. In the next few months, we hope to increase the education the restorative department is providing. We are introducing new hires to training on proficiency of mechanical lifts and gait belt usage. Our hope for future needs is to establish a training program for proper splint brace application. Nursing department, the nursing home remains clear of any infectious diseases outbreaks at this time. We continue to encourage our staff and visitors to continue with extensive hand hygiene practices and to monitor symptoms, and if having symptoms, to not come into the facility or visit or work. The DON continues to interview for nurse and CNA positions. The DON continues to participate in webinars and Zoom meetings sponsored by Hospice, Omnicare, and Leading Age. They cover a variety of topics concerning long-term care. The DON attended a 2-day conference in Schaumburg. The conference was extremely informative and all long-term care vendors. The DON conducted a CPR BLS class for nursing home staff on August 21st. Nursing department in-services are in full swing. There was an in-service at the end of August on diet and nutrition. CNA competency audits have begun and will continue through the month of August and September. During these audits, the DON will shadow CNAs on all shifts to monitor job performance and check skills. Each review will then be discussed with the individual CNA, and if remediation is needed, an action plan will be put in place to complete immediately. The state survey tags are as follows. I can read through them. There's also an attachment, the ones that says health tags. That is exactly what all these are. It goes into further explanation. It's all coded. There are no names involved. I do have the code, but I will not share it because it would become a HIPAA violation. So the state survey tags were for personal privacy, confidentiality of records, investigate, prevent, correct alleged violation, care plan timing and revision, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, free of accident hazards supervision, nutrition and hydration, trauma-informed care, label, store drugs, nutrition value, appearance and temperature, frequency of meals, snack at bedtime, food procurement, store, prepare and serve, infection prevention and control, and required in-service training for nurses' aides. All of these have, we have created all the POCs. All the POCs have been approved by IDPH. And then I had put that in there. If you have any other, all this is self-explanatory, but if you have any further questions, please reach out instead of just assuming. The state surveys did recommend I look into getting an in-house dietitian. At this time, I'm looking into and will request the additional job title and position. I will be scheduling interviews for part-time hiring residential driver. My goal is to hire a few part-time drivers with the weather changing and holidays coming up. along with any additional trips we would like to have available for the residents. I feel it would make great use out of our bus for festival lights, fall foliage rides, and other ideas that we will have available. We currently have 2 of the full-time business side employees, HR and medical records, covering the scheduling. It is not working within a month's time. I will once again be pleading a case for scheduler, which I am now pleading a case, just so everyone is aware. I have a breakdown of the added hours that the 2 full-time employees used, which is attached on top of, I don't have included as an attachment, but the DON also has 10 additional hours per week for the nursing schedule. This is a position that was once fulfilled at the nursing home years ago when census was much smaller. Now that we're up to 63 residents, the obligation of scheduling is a lot for 2 full-time people to take on while still maintaining the obligations of their full-time positions. I've attached a breakdown of the hours that each already full-time employee with full-time responsibilities needed to do in addition to their full-time positions for scheduling. It breaks down to a minimum of 23.5 hours per week to a maximum of 30.5 hours per week, plus you need to add the additional 10 hours from the DON. So we're looking at 33.5 to 40.05 hours per week in order to do the schedule. Again, this is in addition to their regular 40 hours a week position with full-time responsibilities. I'm going to recommend, once again, that a discussion be done to establish the understanding of why we need a scheduler position. Again, there was a scheduler position with the census at a much smaller number. We're currently at 63 residents with a potential of a minimum of 2 additional admits by the end of this month. We can populate to a maximum of 75 residents. I look at the facility being at 70 by the end of the year. I again encourage anyone who does not have a clear understanding of the scheduling process for a facility that operates 24/7, has regulated numbers of staff on the floor per every 24 hours, along with call-offs, vacations, and anything else that inhibits a person from coming to work and fulfilling scheduled times, to please either ask questions or come to the facility, and we will walk you through the process. There's been an additional request regarding the contract for a new medical director, and that has since been updated, and I know it's on this agenda. I am looking into the scheduling of fire extinguisher training for the staff of the nursing facility. I only have 1 quote at this time, which is $200 per class with a maximum of 30 staff members at a class. Additional classes would run $100 each. And again, if anyone has any hesitations with me having fire extinguisher training for all staff, please let me know. We had our IDPH Life Safety Code Certification Survey. Those are also attached with a headline of life safety tags. There's a total breakdown of exactly what all those mean. All the POCs have been created. All the POCs have been approved by IDPH. They are as follows: plan based on all hazard risk assessment, emergency officials contract information, EP training process, hospitals, CAI and LTC emergency, fire alarm system, sprinkler system, maintenance and testing, and sprinkler system. Again, if anyone has any further questions once they read through that, please contact us. Partners in Hope will officially start September 15th. And I received an official letter from Aegis Therapy Company that their last day will be October 30th, 2025. This has been updated, and I have worked very closely with Attorney Herman, and I do have a copy of the proposal, which is attached to all you guys, and I have since sent it to Amanda so she can do what she needs to do with it. And that's all I got.
Anybody have questions? Maybe?
I have a couple. So why is Aegis leaving?
That they're a contract therapy agency. They've been with us for a very long time, and their official notice of why is because they can't staff what we need to have staffed. They've had open positions for over 224 days, and they can't get anyone to come to us because they're not near us. There's a lot of travel time involved with therapists.
Oh, they're not
They're not local.
local.
Correct.
So you're looking for a local,
We're looking for anyone at this time. We need a therapy in there by October 31st, or we cannot fulfill our obligations to our skilled residents.
so you need a physical therapy
Correct.
in there by
October 31st.
October 31st.
Mhm.
And so if you don't, then what happens?
if we no longer have a therapy company, then we cannot take anybody that's coming from a hospital and wanting to do a skilled stay. Medicare A is one of our big payers, and we will no longer be able to get that. And we have 12 current residents doing therapy under Part B Medicare, which means they're not coming directly from a hospital, but they are receiving therapy daily or weekly. So we will not be able to fulfill any of their needs. I'm unsure if they would be able to be transported out for those therapy services, but it would be a lot of, it would be very difficult to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
I'm Brittany, I'm the finance officer.
Oh, you're Brittany?
Yeah,
Oh,
nice to
nice
meet
to meet you. Okay, I see your name, so. And then I had another question. Oh, I know, what is Nell's Woodland?
It's, actually, we just discovered it. They actually reached out to us. It's just a very secluded area that they have for retreats, is what it comes down to. It's local, but this is the first time we've ever heard of it and/or been invited out there.
It's over on 71, kind of close to 80.
Isn't Nell's Woodland the old Farracuti place? It's over here, Kathy. It's right off of 23.
Oh, okay. I'm
It's
thinking
where
of a
the old
different- okay.
Farracuti house was up on the hill, as you're going down the big hill.
Oh, okay. Very, very good. Okay, and then just read through all these tags then, right?
Yeah, and if you have any questions, please, please, please reach out.
So is it on each person or
It-
each patient?
It's on each individual tag. So as you go to the head, when you go to, say, the health tags, and then on each one of these health tags, you're gonna see, this is the first tag right here that says F0583.
Oh,
It
sure.
will follow just in line with how I typed it in my notes. You can read through all of this. There are no names involved. Like I said, everyone has a number.
Okay.
And that's so, and I cannot share that. That's a HIPAA
Sure.
violation.
Well, that's understandable. That's a HIPAA
Yeah,
violation.
but other than that, you'll be able to get a grasp of exactly what the tag was. And then if you want to see our plan of corrections that have been completed and approved by IDPH, I'm more than happy to share them with you.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, Bill.
Have you tried to get a therapist here locally at all?
We're just now, this is a brand new, we're just starting process. So what we're gonna try is exactly what's gonna be put in the paper and open for bids. That's how we have to do it. It can't just be, I'm gonna go find myself somebody.
Okay, so we haven't been totally shut down because we
No.
haven't really tried yet.
No, this is brand new, just started.
Okay.
Go ahead, Doug.
I, for one, thank you for sending your report out. I read through it a couple times prior to the meeting, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see here, I had a couple things. The incident, was that one of the two new hired activity aides?
I'm sorry, what? Oh, no. No, it is not one of the two new ones, no.
Oh, okay. And what is BLS? Is that blood loss with, on page 4, with the Don conducted a CPR BLS class?
It is, I'm gonna look it up so I don't mess it up for you. Thank you.
Basic life?
Basic life.
Basic
yeah.
life. And what does basic life entail? Just life support?
Right.
CPR,
Right.
okay, all right. I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah, and my last couple months' reports, I've actually spelled it out. I just didn't do it this time because I thought I would be repetitive.
And then on the state survey tags, you do talk about possibly looking into hiring a dietitian. Can that be contracted?
I don't know. I haven't even started that process yet because that is something that has to be approved. And my understanding that they're very hard to find. So IDPH and I continue to discuss before I bring it to a committee meeting. I want all my ducks in a row.
Sure, no, I appreciate that. see here. On the fire extinguisher training, do you have certain individuals that just work during the evening that would need or want training? And would they have to come during the day?
They would have to come during the day, absolutely, but it's no different than when we have in-services. When we have in-services where it's for all staff, we have to plan them so that it meets their requirements of scheduling. So we would have to have one at 7:30 in the morning for third shift. We'd have to have one at 2:30 in the afternoon for afternoon shift, and we could have it at any time for day shift.
Okay, no, thank you. Those are my questions.
Okay.
I have kind of a dumb question regarding the fire extinguishers. Can Fred teach that, or does it have to be a certified company that comes out?
I'm assuming it would have to be a certified company, unless
I
he's
don't know.
certified. Is
I
he
just
certified to
wondered
teach?
because I don't know. But I
Okay.
wondered if he is. Go ahead, Doug.
A year or two ago, as part of the outing that we had here for the employees, we had fire extinguisher training.
By whom?
And it was the local vendor that Fred Moore lined up.
Okay, so Fred lined it up, but he
He,
didn't teach
and it
it.
was, the person that handles keeping our fire extinguishers up to date, I believe.
Okay, I just wondered as a
That's
cost
the vendor.
savings.
I would be going through our vendor that does just that. So that's why I would set it up through him.
So he's our vendor that supplies our fire extinguishers, and yet he's charging us?
Yeah, it's just not an added bonus to be able to train over 90 people.
Yes.
I'm in conversation with Fred already, so we can talk to you after.
Okay, great.
He's listening to the meeting now too. So we'll just talk to you about what your options are.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else have anything? Questions?
Oh, how many hours are you gonna have for the schedulers then?
Well, by the numbers, it's 30 to 40.05. So if we can get someone even on a part-time basis, if they can do it 30 hours a week, I'd be happy with that. But to continue to have full-time employees do another full-time job between the three of them, I don't think is right.
But how many hours does that take them to do a month?
I broke it down. There, it's
I
attached.
don't have it with me, I'm sorry. I thought you would provide it today.
I think it's in our package.
It is.
Nancy.
It's attached to
in
everything
this
that I
one?
also brought today.
No, not the VAC package. Maybe you didn't pick it up. the
I don't
nursing
have
home.
it.
Okay, it's
Is
up
there
here.
one up there?
Part-time person for 30 hours.
Correct. So this is what they look like. Here's the breakdown of hours just from those two people. One is medical director, one is payroll, and then the third, which I don't have broken down, because I needed this sent out before she was available, an additional 10 hours need to be added per week from the DON. And then here's the other two broken down.
Yeah, one looks like a calendar right after the report. And then the page above it says scheduling floor plans, Amanda Draper. So Kathy, these two that are doing this, they are logging in overtime hours?
Actually, no, they're not. They're just extremely frustrated at this point.
Okay.
And it also means that their other work is falling behind because the scheduling has to be done. So they're doing their best to balance out everything, but they're both extremely frustrated.
Every day.
Would you be willing to come down and have them
I've-
explain
I've done
everything?
it. I mean,
For a nursing home?
well, it was for a lab.
Okay. I really wish you'd come down. I really do.
so you get maybe a better hands-on idea of exactly what goes on that causes this. Because they're not making this up.
Okay, like one day it's like 6 hours to do, I mean, don't you do it for the whole month? And then when you have people
Oh,
call
gosh,
off?
no, we can't.
Why?
To try to do it for a whole month for CNAs that have an opportunity to just say, hey, I'm going home sick, messes up the whole entire floor. They're allowed to do that. They're, by contract, they're allowed to do that. So that messes it up. This is why it's an everyday juggle, or if someone decides not to show up, or it doesn't matter. Every day, more than one person decides not to show up for work. So then that messes up our regulatory numbers that we need on the floor with such a high census, which is at 63 right now. On top of nurses, we've got nurses that we're still contracting out. One nurse didn't show up yesterday, so the DON had to go on the floor for 4 hours yesterday.
I do get that. I understand
Okay,
that.
this is all part of it. So this is,
Oh, so you're saying you're taking their actual hours that they would be doing the regular work, and then they're working on the bench, or whatever you want to call it.
there, okay, I'll break it down. So this calendar right here, this is from our payroll person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she has obligated responsibilities for her job position.
Right.
On top of her job position, she did this the whole entire month of August. On top of that, on top of payroll, added responsibility. Amanda, the scheduling floor plans, this, everything that she had to do in the month of August, she's also our medical records. So every time there's an admission, every time there's a question about medical records, no matter who it's from, she has 40-hour work week, full-time obligations as a medical records person. On top of it, this is what she had to add to her responsibilities in order to get this done, because every day I see girls coming in saying, here, I want to switch. Or here's 5 different switches for the next 2 weeks.
You don't make them make their own switches with somebody else?
No.
Why? If it's already
That
on
would be a
schedule-
disaster.
Wow.
That would be a total disaster,
crazy.
out of control disaster.
They should be responsible.
They should, doesn't mean they are.
That's bad.
So this needs to be put on the agenda for next month.
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, it's not on our agenda, so,
Nope, I just wanted it put
Yeah,
in my notes, and
just-
I'm pretty sure I
just so
said
we
that. I
have
just
that
wanted to,
time.
last
Yes, you
month,
did.
I said that I'd be bringing this information this month, so that next month it can be put on the agenda, because this needs to be discussed. This needs to be, everybody needs to understand what this is all about.
okay. So we've got a month to consider that, ask our questions of you that we have.
Please, and come down. We'll be happy to
Yes.
show you through it, so that when the topic does come up, you literally have been able to walk through everything that goes on for this.
Okay.
And we need this in order to run appropriately 24/7 for the residents and IDPH regulations. We have no choice. This isn't let's run short kind of thing. We can't.
So you're looking to hire a person to do this job?
Yes,
But again, Bill, we gotta wait till next month
correct.
to really discuss it, to have it on the agenda. But this month, we could talk to Kathy about it outside the meeting, maybe stop by the nursing home, let them show us what they do, if you wanna do that. Till next meeting.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
How many people does this involve scheduling? Obviously, they wouldn't schedule you. Or
It's for
certain-
CNAs. It's for CNAs, UAs, LPNs, and
And
nurses.
so how many people would that be?
Let's see. 14, 18, 22, 24, I'd say between 28 and 30 per 24 hours. And if one of those 28 per 30 in a 24-hour period calls off, calls in sick, doesn't show up, quits, whatever, we will be short our IDPH regulated numbers for the number of hours that we need on the floor for CNAs, LPNs, and RNs. That's what this is all about.
So 24 to 30.
28 to
20
30.
28 to 30, and out of a pool of how many different, what do you have for the scheduler to choose from? What pool size?
Well, see, and it doesn't technically work that way because all CNAs are union. So there is a list of all our union CNAs, and then everybody gets hired, everybody gets scheduled, and then say somebody doesn't show up. We pull out that scheduler, pulls out the CNA list, and then they have to start at the very top, just as any union protocol goes. So that list right now, don't quote me on the number of CNAs that we have. Maybe Melissa can look it up real quick and throw me a number. I know we only have one LPN. We have 2 full-time nurses. The rest are contract. They don't always show up because they don't have to per their contract, which then puts us short for nurses. And CNAs, I'm just gonna right now throw out like 39. That's just a number. It's all it is to me right now, a number.
That's fine. I was just wanting to get a general idea.
But then it all has to be, so you figure all those people are scheduled, all those CNAs are scheduled for each shift, and then one doesn't show up. And what happens when second shift is ready to go home at 10 o'clock, and third shift is supposed to be there at 9:45, and nobody shows up? Guess what? They now have to go down that list and call and see who will stay from the people that are already on the floor. So there is so much in a 24-hour period that can go on with scheduling. It is not cut and dry.
So you said 3 shifts?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
So do you do anything to these people when they just don't show up? Are
Yes.
they disciplined?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Per union protocol, yes.
And what's their protocol? What happens to them?
The first one is a write-up. I can get you a copy. Of fact, you know what?
But how many write-ups before something happens to you?
Oh, hold on. No, I don't have it with me. But I can either get you a copy of the union contract or send you at least the protocol that we have to follow in order to discipline a union member.
You don't know offhand what?
I am not gonna spout it off in case I'm wrong about a certain step. I do know, yes, but I don't know if I say something wrong, I don't know what will happen. I'll be perfectly honest with you. We have to follow that to a T as much as we follow IDPH. I don't want to be wrong. But I can get it to you. I've got a copy on my
Okay.
desk, and normally I've got a copy with me.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
not a problem.
Okay. Since this isn't on the agenda, I think we need to move along on to the agenda again. I've got maintenance requests. Do you have anything on that?
I do not.
Okay. Patio addition bid details. Yeah, we talked about that last week and last month, pardon me. Is there anything additional that we need to discuss
From my
on that?
understanding, and maybe Stephanie can correct me, but from my understanding, it's going to be a no-go financially.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So then we move on to the appointment of the medical director for the nursing home. And we have a copy of the resolution on that and also the contract. Do you, by chance, the most recent contract copy that we have is from April. Do you have an updated version of that?
I will have to look. I don't believe so, but I will look.
Okay, so
that's
we'll
an-
just need to correct the dates on it.
Okay.
So do I read this resolution?
You
or-
don't have to read it now.
Okay.
Just-
Summarize
I
it?
know you've explained it several times, just give a brief description of what you're doing,
Okay.
so that they can go and make a motion before it comes forward. Just a reminder.
I am changing the medical director from the current to a new one, is what I'm doing.
Okay, and so the new medical director will be Dr. McGuire.
Uh-huh.
Who most of the people in the area, I think, are familiar with him. He is associated with
T4,
the company named T4.
correct.
And he would be starting
Whenever this gets resolved.
as soon as we, okay, this states December 1st, he would be starting.
Okay, well, hopefully that's what will work.
Okay. And then, so we would need a motion to approve that resolution. The contract amount would be for $5,000 a month.
Correct.
Quick question on that.
Okay.
Did you notify the current one already?
Until everybody tells me that it's approved, no. I'm still literally waiting for someone to say, this is finally going, and now from my understanding, now it's going to the full board. When am I supposed to do this? I have until the end of October. Not even. I need someone to tell me that, you know what, send this letter out because this is the next step that we're taking, but go ahead and do this. Nobody's made a decision. a
If
final
I can
decision.
say something with the increase in the pay, I think it should not happen until 12/1.
Right, that's not the issue.
Yeah.
The issue is, I need to know, I need a solid directive that, yes, this has been approved by everybody, and that I can send that letter out, because if I send
Right,
it
because you
out
wouldn't
before
send
it's
it now
approved,
until you get the full approval.
But what's the time frame that you have to?
60 days.
60 days.
So that's why the December 1st.
Right. Well, that, so I could get it, it could be out by October 1st, but I need a clear, decisive decision of moving forward.
So with this, once we approve it, it has to go to the full board.
Right.
And the next full board meeting is October 9th.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, we need to make a decision today
Yep.
and put it on the agenda for the full board. So, does anybody have further discussion on it, or shall we look for a motion?
Mr. Adams, does that letter of notice need to go out before we do this?
I think you can make a move without, if it's, at least that gives her the
To go
the
ahead?
ability to go ahead. If the committee signaled their approval for it, then she can do what she needs to do as far as notifying the current person, and then you can adopt the resolution in October to move on to the next person.
Has to go through the county board, the board, right? For approval.
I think that this would at least give her the requisite intent to be able to notify the person under the contract. What you don't want is an overlap, or where the person didn't get their, depending on the contract, it may automatically, I haven't seen this particular contract, but it may automatically renew if you don't get the notice out in time.
So, do we need to, besides approving the resolution and forwarding it to the full board, do we need to give her a directive to notify the current medical director, or can she just do that?
I think that signals her intent, or your intent to move on.
Okay.
That should be enough for her to do what she needs to do to send a notice. I don't think you have to tell her how to do it.
Okay,
Just-
okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So if there is no other discussion, can I get a motion then to forward this to the full board to approve this resolution to hire a new medical director?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Can I get a second from anyone? Kathy? All in
I
favor?
don't think, because that's a service.
Any other
I
discussion?
don't think so.
All in favor of that motion to approve this medical director? Thank you. Any opposed?
Hey,
Okay. Do we need to do roll call on that, or just know that is one against? Okay, I'll do roll call. Kathy Owens?
Aye.
Doug Stockley?
Aye.
Matt Slager?
Aye.
Ron? Blue? Nay? William Brown. Nancy Urick.
Aye.
Okay, and I'm an aye also. So motion passes, and I will send this around for signatures. And then we can move on. So next we have a resolution for Partners for Hope, in Hope for medication management services.
They start Monday.
Okay, and can we just maybe explain a little bit who Partners for Hope is and what they'll be doing?
Partners for Hope is a psychiatry business, and they will actually start having psychiatrists come in person to have, or to speak with our residents and be there. The residents will also continue to have the option to still be with our other psychiatrist that we have right now that only does telehealth. So their option will always be there. Partners in Hope is fully aware of that, and they're fine with that. But starting Monday, we will have our psychiatrists that will be there in person.
Okay, and they are not paid by us, is that correct?
Correct. There's no monetary value going out from us to them in order for them to be there for our residents for supportive psychiatric
Okay.
options.
We don't have to send it to the full board, we can just approve it? Okay, does anybody have any questions about this? Or, I think we're all kind of familiar already. Can I get a motion to approve that resolution? Bill, first, Kathy Owen, second, all in favor? So that passes. And next on the agenda is therapy bid.
Yep, and that is also attached in everything that I gave to everyone today. And I have been working closely with Attorney Herman on this and with Amanda. So right now, it has all been approved and has been sent to Amanda, so she can do what she needs to do with it.
Thank you. Sign that one. Yeah, did we see that? Is there anything we need to do with that? No. Okay, all right, thank you. And, so at that point, then, what we have left on the agenda is the budget.
Kathy, did you want me to go through that and then
Would
you
you?
can
Yes.
answer
please.
questions as we go along?
Yeah, Brittany and I will, yes.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to start on the expense side. To start off, currently cash on hand is 2.924019. I'm sorry, 2.924019. Uh-huh. Okay, so, water engineer, we're increasing that by 4,000. Kathy, we're currently at 6,600. Do you foresee additional costs there? Or Brittany, I'm
No,
sorry.
we had to hire a new one, and
Okay.
his rate was higher, so it will be no.
It will be okay, perfect.
That's, that's the new cost to the county, the water engineer then,
Correct,
12,000?
yes.
Okay.
Professional consultant, an increase of 7,000. You can see we're already over, a little over budget on that. Currently, are they the ones that do the old Markham reporting now?
They are, yes.
Okay. Contract services, Part A, therapy, an increase of 40,000 up to 150.
Only because I don't know what what a new agency is gonna have. I've got to have a cushion in there, because I don't know.
And I'm assuming also due to increase in census as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. The medical director salary, since this was just discussed, should we lower that to 60 then, since it's 5,000 a month? Because we had it at 78.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so we can, or 72, I'm sorry.
72.
Yeah, we'll lower that to 60,000. The transfer to general fund for the IT and maintenance services, health insurance, admin costs, extra help. We increased that by 35,000, but we're currently sitting at 360. Do we think we need that higher?
Do you think we need it higher?
Yeah, right now we're spending about 90,000 a month on extra help, so I would raise it a little bit more.
So do we think like 400? You think 400 will suffice?
Or you want the 450?
Maybe 425?
425? Because that's where our shortage on our staffing comes, I mean, like
Yeah,
for
that's
nurses and
for
stuff like that,
All
correct?
the nurses and CNAs that we
Okay.
get from.
That's what I thought, okay.
That's from Grapetree and that?
Yes. 425,000.
425. Hang on one second.
But you're spending 90,000 a month?
The past few months, only since about May, but I don't know if we foresee hiring. I know they're trying to hire nurses, but a majority of what we're contracting now are nurses, and they're about $90 an hour is for most of our contracts. So I don't know if they hire a nurse, in the next fiscal year, maybe that will go down. We won't need that, but right now, because the past few months it's picked up, I would definitely increase. I mean, we may even need to increase a little bit more, but we haven't had an entire year of 90,000.
Well, and currently with the projected numbers, that takes us to 431,000 right now. So at the 425, maybe a little on the low side.
So maybe, should we go to 450?
I mean, we can leave it at
Yeah.
you want to do the 450?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in order to combat that and bring that down eventually is to be able to raise the wages for our nurses. That's the battleground right there.
What currently are their wages?
For nurses, 38 something.
And what is normally in the area, let's say, average?
Well, when we went through and raised the PRN RNs to $40, OSF the next day turned around and raised it to 50. Right away. It wasn't even 24 hours. Absolutely. So now, say if we raise our normal RNs to like 50, they'll turn around and raise it to 60 within 24 hours. So that it's a battle. It is a battleground out there for wages for nurses. So we are the lowest in the county. So because of that. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Then like hospitals because of all the different departments, but still, I mean, just when I look on Indeed, I can just see like starting wages. A lot of them have bonuses and like a sign-on bonus of $10,000 that will be paid out within a year's time, probably 4 times a year, something, or quarterly, something like that. But they're still higher than what we offer, even and then the bonus makes it even more so. So for all the interviews that we've had for nursing, as soon as they'll go to a couple different job applications or job interviews and said they want to work for us, and then they'll call us and say, I just got offered this job for $15 more than what you know. Sorry, bam, there we are, stuck all over again. Yeah, exactly. So now here we are paying $90 an hour for contract nursing, and that's expensive. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody get the 450 for the extra help then? Okay. PRN help, no benefits, we left that at the 100. Maintenance and repair of equipment, we did increase that by 10 up to 40,000. Maintenance and repair of the vehicles, we decreased that to 40,000. And then maintenance and repair of the building, we did increase that by 10,000. We're currently sitting at 81 and we increased it to 85, so hopefully we'll be able to keep it within that. And then the contracts maintenance for the building, we left that at the 70,000. I'm sorry, we increased that to 70,000 since we're currently at the 60 mark. Inspection fines, we have not had any, which is great, but we do need to keep that in there in the event that there are. Travel is the same. Electricity, we increased that up to 75,000, just the unknown of what rates are doing. Water sewer, increased that to 35,000. Natural gas, up to 50,000. Telephone at 900. 20,
Deb,
yes.
can I ask you about that?
Oh, sure. I'm
Natural
sorry.
gas,
Yes.
current actual, anybody know why it doubled? It's like double from
Well, I know
24.
rates just went up
that
because,
much though?
yeah, actually, the county property, when the last month we had that meeting, that bill went up substantial as well.
Let's say mine didn't. Mine didn't double. All right, I just wondered, 'cause that's a big increase. All right, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they bill us, so we pay, so.
Yeah, I hear you.
Waste disposal, we increased that up to 11. Pest control, increased that by $100. Medical waste, increase of 1,000 up to 9,000. Postage, what do we use that for, Kathy? Because we haven't spent any this year yet.
Postage is used for our postage machine.
Okay. Do we not get a lot of use out of it, Brittany, or?
There's a chance I may be pulling it from the wrong line item, so I
Oh,
will
that's
look when I get back.
okay.
I know we do use it.
You, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
use it
thought
a
you did, but I
lot.
just wasn't sure,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's, all right. Employment ads, we did increase that. Have we not done a whole lot this year, Kathy?
No,
Okay,
I had to wait for that billboard thing to pass, and then, so if we
Okay.
want to do something next year, it's there.
did you get rid of the billboard then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Education, increased that by 2,500 up to 5,000. Dues and subscriptions up to 15,000. Marketing at 5,000. The patient insurance payments kept that the same. Furniture and bedding expenses increased that by 10,000. Our provider participation fee stayed the same. The Medicare Part B, we did increase that by 50,000. As you can see, we're currently over the budget right now. Brittany, can you explain what that is, please?
So with Aegis, we pay them by how many Medicare B, Medicare A, and private pay people they are currently treating. So in order to pull it from the proper line, Jen told me we have to use like the Medicare B line, or insurance payments. So we pay them regardless every month, about 32,000 right now.
Okay.
And then we recoup the money from their insurance companies.
And we'll see that on the revenue
So,
side.
yeah, and then
Okay.
if not, some of it goes into the private pay, from the private
Right.
pay, and if they have a liability amount. Yeah, so the ancillary cost is always just for therapy.
Okay. We were able to decrease the personal hygiene since we're now taking those bills and itemizing them out. Office supplies and expenses, an increase of 10,000. Maintenance supplies, an increase of 5. Dietary provisions, an increase of 50,000.
Office supplies, the reason for that increase?
Honestly, it's just in case we need something. In all honesty, I don't want to run short when we need, if a chair breaks or we need something office-wise. Because this last time I had to purchase 4 chairs because the chairs were allowing people to almost fall out of them. So the increase is for safety issues, for anything that we need as far as it goes for office supplies and expenses.
And we're currently over what we allotted for
right.
last year, so.
Yeah.
The dietary provisions, I'm assuming that's based on the census of 60, Kathy?
Correct.
Okay. Activity supplies increased there by $1,500. Nursing supplies, an increase of 50,000. Housekeeping supplies, an increase of 14. And laundry and linens, increases there of 3,500 and 2,000. The nursing medications at the increase of 10,000. Again, based on the higher census. Office equipment expense, an increase of 1,000. Equipment expense, increase of 10,000. Medical equipment, increase of 15,000. Are those like the Hoya beds and stuff like that?
Those medical equipment also would fall under if we need Hoyers, if we need or lifts or anything like that. Anything that is gonna help the resident is a medical equipment.
Excuse me for a second. The equipment expense, wasn't that the line where we did that side by side? Out of that?
I believe that's where we took that out of. I still can't really get in here, so I can't
I'm sorry.
tell you exactly.
So do you really need to increase that by 10? Well, it shows, 69 there, but you won't have that expense out of it.
Was that where we took the side-by-side that we purchased Kathy out of? Or
Yes.
Brittany, okay. Do we need to keep that high, do you think, or are you anticipating anything?
Am I anticipating any equipment that we need for the
Yeah,
nursing home?
or like bigger
Yes.
equipment, I should say.
Yes.
Okay. Where was I? Okay, the site improvement expense, we removed that. Obviously, the health and life insurance, again, those numbers will possibly more than likely change. Payroll is set by contract, and that is assuming all positions are filled, because you can see that we're not even close to what we budgeted. However, when we calculate payroll, we do assume that all positions are filled. Then other salary, then part-time, no benefits. And then the last page is the overtime. Any questions on the expenses?
Just one more thing, Stephanie. On that gas bill, did anybody actually compare the rates from last year to this year for the gas usage? Because I'm just wondering if there could possibly be a leak or something.
Could
No,
you
but
ask-
I can.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could you ask maintenance out there? Maybe they can take a look at that.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
Compare the rates to see if it's actually,
Do you guys do the same thing that they do over here as far as like going out and contracting for that? Because we contract for that, Amanda, correct? Or is that just the electricity? Just electricity only, okay. But yeah, we'll follow up with that and have, right, for sure. Okay, moving to the revenue side then. And then Kathy, if we want to change any of these numbers, again, I take what we currently have, based upon how long we've been here. We're 10 months into the year, and then multiply that by 12, so. The tax levy, again, I added a 3% increase to that, and that could change as well when they do the final one. Interest, I got that to 80,000. As you can see, we're well over what we anticipated last year. Miscellaneous income, I kept that at 500, or actually, we've never had anything, so I put that at 500. The QIP incentive, I only put that at 85,000, and we're currently at 80,000. Do you anticipate that to be higher, Brittany?
That is based off of our census each month and how many Medicaid residents we have.
Okay,
So every month we do a bed tax to Medicaid, and then they determine quarterly how much we will get reimbursed. So, I mean, at our census right now, it may be a little bit higher, but if our census drops or we get a lot more private pay versus Medicaid, then, I mean, I would keep it at 85.
so we only get it on Medicaid.
We get it on the Medicaid
Okay.
residents, yes.
So 85 is good?
Yeah.
Because I looked back and I saw that we don't like get it every month, so.
Yeah, it's
okay.
every 3 months.
Okay.
Mhm.
Patient contributions, I put that at 592,000. We're currently at 493. Think that's pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. Private pay patients, I kept that at the 1.85. Public aid, I did decrease that based on current numbers down to 1.855. And another portion of the public aid, I increased that up to 600,000, And I believe that's just how they pay and what line item it goes into.
Yeah, if it's traditional Medicaid, they send it through wire. But if it's a different Medicaid plan, they send it by check.
Okay. Medicare Part A decreased that by 17,000 down to 155. Medicare Part B up to 70. Medicare coinsurance Part A, we did decrease that, and that has to do with the therapy again, correct?
Yeah, so if somebody comes in with a regular Medicare A, which is very rare anymore, that a lot of times they have a replacement plan, and they have a secondary, then that's the Medicare coinsurance Part A. So maybe one person every few months might have that.
And that's why it decreased, because most are getting off of
Most are getting
Medicare.
like, the replacement plans.
Part B, and increased that up to 30,000. Kept the patient insurance pay at the 5,000. Hospice payments, I did increase that up to 475. As you can see, we're at 412 currently.
Yeah, for that one,
Yeah.
we received a few lump sum payments due to not being billed in prior years. So that was within this last fiscal year.
Okay.
I don't know if we will hit 475,000. I think it might be a little bit steep.
So
Maybe
what would
lower it a
you,
little bit, maybe 400 and 400.
400?
Yeah.
Okay.
We received a lot of old
For the-
payments from 2022, 2023 that OSF and
So
I
you were
worked
able to
together.
recoup some of that?
Yes.
Good job. Thank you.
Yes.
So decrease the hospice down to 400,000. The transfer from the highway, that will stay the same at the 10,000, and the transfer from the insurance fund, I left that at the 387. However, that will probably change somewhat as well. Questions on the revenue? Some projects that we would like to do, I still can't get this, don't know if we feel that we can probably did put in for a budget this year, because in revenue and expense, I believe the deficit right now is 1 point. I think did have some items at $0.6 million, but we currently have on hand 2.9, so we'd still have some reserves in there. Kathy, have you handed out this list of the projects that you want to do?
No,
Okay.
I figured since you said no, that,
Well, it's not, I
No.
mean, it's up to the committee. Let me redo the math here and I can give you a number.